All right, welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. You are listening to the American Adversaries. No, you're not in the twilight zone. You're in the right zone because you got us on your dial or on your smart device. In any case, you can be on the show by calling us at 407-774-8255. Let me reintroduce everyone in the studio because we've added someone to the lineup here, along with Rick Brown, Jackie Ricardo, Randy Ross, myself, Christopher Hart. We are now joined by Matt Morgan, who is a candidate for Longwood City Commission, District 4, and former professional wrestler, businessman extraordinary. Matt Morgan, welcome to the show today.
Very honored to be here. Thanks for having me on, and great WWE entrance music. Very good job.
Yeah. Well, we didn't want to make you mad or anything. Right?
They were going to have me take the door off the hinges before you came in. But
Matt, how long have you lived in Longwood? I'm sorry.
Shade under 4 years, 11 years total, though, in Seminole County. Lived at the Lake Mary Longwood border at Sun Lake Apartments. And then me and my wife had struggled to have children. We were told for 14 years. We were told for 14 years me and my wife could not have children, right? We tried 7 bouts of IVF. Nothing worked. Bottom line is, we put ourselves out there. Like, you want to talk about subscribing to the whole law of attraction theory. We purchased a home in Longwood, a block away from where we were living in the apartments at Sun Lake Apartments. And we built a baby room, the whole 9. Put pictures up all over the house about babies, pregnant women, vision boards everywhere. 6 months later, she got pregnant.
The power of positive thinking.
Crazy, yeah.
So
it really is.
Are you putting pictures of politicians around the house right now?
I am not, because I don't know if you heard, I am no politician in no way, shape, or form.
But you are running for the Longwood City Commission?
Ironically enough, yeah.
Why?
Because now it's changed. Originally, it was because I make changes around cities all across the world, being a role model for kids and young adults. And I've done a lot in my life. I have ADD. I'm a recovered addict, 13 years sober. There's a lot of different things that I'm able to do for a lot of different people. Once I retired and I had my son, it was, what am I doing for my own city? What am I doing from where we live, and my son one day is going to continue to grow up and hopefully one day raise his family? That was the initial concept. The other reason was because over the last 5 years, while I was still on the road wrestling, actually, citizens would leave index cards in my mailbox, Post-it notes on my garage and front door, begging me to run because they know I'm the type that has a backbone. I'm a natural-born leader. I'm well-spoken, and more importantly, I have good, fresh ideas, and I get things done. I'm a doer, not a talker.
Where is District 4? What does that include? Or is this going to be a citywide?
Yes.
It's city. Everybody in the city can vote for District 4.
Yes, sir.
I see. Now, Rick, you were on the Winter Spring City Commission.
Yes,
Any
I was.
advice for him?
Run hard, run fast, and watch your back.
I'm learning that already, the watch your back part.
The Seminole Mafia is a real thing.
Seriously.
Wow.
He laughs.
And get one of her pillows.
But it is, it's serious stuff.
I am mind-boggled at how dirty. This is considered the dirtiest election in Longwood history.
Well, this is the dirtiest county in all of Florida, politically.
It really is.
I don't know about that.
The lengths that
Orange County's closed.
The lengths that certain people have gone to try to hold on to their seat is astronomical. It's insane, and we're talking about a 6-mile Longwood.
All right, I tell you what, we have to take a break. It's a hard break, but Matt's going to stay with us through the rest of the show. If you are a resident of Longwood and you have a question for Matt Morgan, here's a great opportunity to ask him that question right here tonight on the American Adversaries. Matt, do you have a Facebook page or somewhere where they can visit you?
Yes, Instagram and Twitter at the same address. It's at BP Matt Morgan, at BP as in Blueprint Matt Morgan, at BP as in Blueprint Matt Morgan. Facebook is Matt Morgan, #4 Longwood, Matt Morgan 4 Longwood.
We'll be right back. Love you too, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. I am Christopher Hart, along with Rick Brown, Randy Ross, Jackie Ricardo, and we also now have in the studio with us Matt Morgan, who is running for Longwood City Commission, District 4. He is also probably better known for the wrestling circuit, and he was just telling us he was wrestling most recently a few months ago?
Yeah, I came out of retirement there for a minute with TNA Impact Wrestling. They shoot over at Universal Studios, and I just wasn't able to agree to the contract situation because they were supposed to be filming at Universal Studios on the weekends, and then they changed their schedule. And I have a nonverbal autistic son, it's important that I'm home during the week.
And I tell you what, though, he looks like he could step in the ring right now and take on anybody.
Thank you.
He is really in tip-top shape.
I'm actually scared right now. I'm actually scared.
and Matt, you're what, about 6'6"?
7 feet.
I'm sorry?
7 foot.
7 foot.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And about 4 feet wide, the shoulders.
And I tell you what, I bet he does not have not 1 ounce of fat on him.
And I'm sitting here eating Cheetos because a lot of people don't realize that you feed us like junk food the whole time we're doing the show. I don't know why they don't know that, but you do it.
Once again, Matt is running for Longwood City Commission, and it's District 4, but anybody in Longwood can vote for Matt, and I suggest you do. And the election is actually November 7th, but is there an early voting period that starts?
The week before. I believe it's that Saturday beforehand.
Okay, so you'll be able to vote early the Saturday, starting the Saturday beforehand, but November the 7th is the actual election day. And, a lot of these elections sort of don't get a lot of attention because it's not a big election, it's not a national election, but these are very important elections, as we were sort of joking about, because of the establishment at the local level. You got just as deep a swamp down here.
Oh, it's deeper.
In Washington, D.C. And, Matt, you were saying you have encountered this.
Absolutely. I've already started receiving nasty grams about me. I've drawn the most interest in this election nationally, obviously. Let's just be honest. At the end of the day, Longwood has not been on the national map, if you will, with Sporting News, Sports Illustrated. I got one with Time Magazine coming out. USA Today is doing a piece on me, whether I win or lose this election, the video diaries I've been keeping. And unfortunately, all I'm left to talk about with is how dirty this has gotten. And they've been sending out these what I call nasty grams, which is just this 100% bold-faced lie that Matt Morgan is for casinos in Longwood. It's literally, like, honestly, guys, no joke, they have a better chance of putting out a nastygram saying Matt Morgan's pregnant and about to have a child 3 weeks from now. It's that big of a lie.
It's a shame.
And you heard it here first.
Yeah. You're getting a lot of firsts here tonight on the American Adversaries. You're getting a lot of firsts. Okay, we have Josh on the line, and he has a question for Matt. So, Josh, thank you for calling and listening tonight. We appreciate that.
Yeah, hi.
Hello, and your question for Matt, please.
Hey, Matt. I was wondering, I know you're running on a public safety platform. I was curious, what separates you from your opponent?
Great question. That is what I'm running my platform on. No question. It's how despicable our police department is treated. They are the lowest paid in Seminole County, yet ironically, we're the #1 safest city in Seminole County. You're supposed to reward good behavior, good achievements like that. If you're the first place anything, you get a promotion at a job, you get a pay raise, something like that happens. Maybe even a attaboy. We don't even give them that. In fact, we deducted their pay 2.5 years ago while my opponent, Mark Weller, was in office. The other thing I'm running a huge part of my campaign on is our poor fire department. It has flooded 4 times in the last 4 months. I was there on 2 separate occasions where this has happened, and I've been screaming it from the rooftops. We've got to get them out of there. I have a plan in place to do so, and everybody that knows me knows what that plan is. But unfortunately, my opponent, Mark Weller, not only has disrespected and ignored this flooding issue, okay, he's been radio silent completely about the issue. He's brought it up one time when WESH came out there and did a report on it because I called them to come do that report, might I add, and he finally made a comment about it. Here's the problem, okay? He's 2015, I believe it was. Not only does he not care about the floods, he wants to shop them over to county. He wanted to get rid of our beloved fire department, and anybody that knows anything about Longwood knows we love our fire department. They can do no wrong. They are like Superman. Like, that's how we treat our firefighters in both stations there. And they get the best service, and we, by far and away, have an incredible fire department. He wanted to shop them to county, and luckily it was shot down 3 votes to 2. What's about to happen, why this election is so important to everyone in Longwood listening right now, is because if the 3, John Mango and Mark Weller, who both voted yes to get rid of the fire department to county, along with their new buddy, Mike Dodane, comes in, guess who just got a 3rd vote to get rid of our fire department, guys? So if you love our fire department, you've got to come out and vote on November 7th. No question about it. They've been disrespected for years. Those days are done on November 7th when Matt Morgan steps in the office.
All right. Well, thank you, Josh, for that question. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a resident of Longwood and you have a question for Matt Morgan today, you have a chance to ask him that question. Matt, public safety is one of your, obviously, your passions, and obviously you're passionate about it and you know what you're talking about. Any other things that you're passionate about that you really want to run on here?
There's obviously infrastructure. There's small businesses. As far as small businesses go, we make a lot of these businesses jump through an incredible amount of hoops. We had an opportunity. This is not even a small business. This is a huge business. We had Publix. We had the opportunity to have Publix brought into Longwood, and because they got so frustrated and so annoyed with how arrogant our commission was towards them, starring John Mango, they were just like, they took their ball and they left, and I don't blame them. They're now in Wekiva. That was supposed to be our Publix. There's rumor had it we were supposed to have a Walmart in 1790 over at 1792. That's not happening, because they make them jump through way too many hoops. I definitely would welcome all businesses in, but before we do that, I firmly believe we're putting the cart before the horse. Who's going to want to come into a city? Because we're about to hit a public decrescendo as far as public safety goes. I see it coming from a mile away. We have 6 openings in our police department that are unfilled. No one's going to fill them because these guys out of the academy, these studs and all-stars, they go wait for Lake Mary, Altamont, and Castleberry to open up, and they'll wait a year to do it just to work there. Or hell, they'll go to Orange City and sign a $2,500 signing bonus and be a cop over there versus being in Longwood. Those 6 are going to be 8, 10, 12, and before you know it, we have that huge decrescendo we've hit in public safety. No business is going to want to come here.
What's your starting salary in the police force?
I believe it's 30 to 33.
And it's one of the lowest in the area. By the way, we're speaking with Matt Morgan. He is running for Longwood City Commission, District 4, but anyone in Longwood can vote for him. And once again, I suggest that you do. The election day itself is November the 7th. Early voting will start the week before. So please do get, and that's coming up this week. This coming week. Yeah. So the election is upon us. And is this a primary or is this the thing? This is the real thing.
This is an off-year election. This is just commissioners only. There's 3 districts that are up. The incumbent being John Mango, Mark Weller. Those are the 2 incumbents. I'm running against Mark Weller. Abby Shoemaker, this incredible woman, is running up against John Mango, who's ran unopposed for 18 years.
Yeah, strong.
That's a problem. Term limits.
I mean, seriously, I have an idea, and I'm not scared to say it right now. After 2 terms, I believe there should be a change. If somebody is as passionate, hopefully you guys can feel it radiating off of me. I'm incredibly passionate about this opportunity.
I'm scared of you, actually, but that's okay.
I don't want you to be scared. I want you to be excited that I'm your guy.
I was going to say with you. I'm kidding.
Say it. Say it.
Okay.
But I believe 2 terms, because if somebody as passionate as me is waiting down the pike, down the pipeline, if you will, not only will I step aside, I'll endorse them. That's how you evolve.
I agree with him.
Yep. And you endorsed another candidate just now. Who was that again?
No, I said if I...
You said no, Amy...
Oh, I'm sorry, Abby Shoemaker, who's running against... Yes, she's running against an 18-year incumbent who's never ran opposed to, by the way, and John Mango. Instead of just stepping aside, I respect the guy, but step aside. You know what I mean? That's the problem with our city at the moment. It's the good old boy network, and I am absolutely purposely here to break it up and cut it off at the head. I really am.
All right.
And that's why I think I'm going to win this election.
I like that.
So let's send a tag team to be on the City Commission of Longwood. That'd be Matt Morgan and Abby Shoemaker.
Yes, sir.
And you can follow Matt on Twitter at BP Matt Morgan on Twitter. That's at BP Matt Morgan on Twitter. And I'm sorry, what was the Facebook page again?
Matt Morgan for Longwood.
And that same address for Instagram.
At BP Matt Morgan.
I'm sorry, at BP Matt Morgan for both Twitter and Instagram, and Matt Morgan for
Longwood
for
on Facebook.
Oh, there you go. Let's see, I'm a little slow sometimes.
Well, no, people go, why BP? You a fan of the gas station? It's short for Blueprint.
Blueprint.
That was my wrestling persona.
All right, Blueprint, Matt Morgan. All right, let's go to Chris on the line, who has a question for Matt. Chris, thank you for calling and listening tonight.
Oh, no problem. I'm curious what you think about annexation, because I know in the past, I'm in a neighborhood right next to Longwood, and they wanted to gobble us up to help us pay for all the programs they want to spend on. And they want us to spend the money on the light rail, the commuter rail they built.
Sunrail?
Yeah. I'm curious, are you for annexing neighborhoods to help pay for all these boondoggles?
No, what I am in favor of, however, is annexation when it makes sense. When it makes sense to, like, my job is to take care of our city first and foremost, Longwood. That is my job. And by my whole entire stance on anything isn't my own personal opinion. My stance on everything is constantly picking the brains of our citizens. And my job is to take the masses, of all their opinions and take it in. And that's what I'm supposed to vote on. That is your job as a commissioner. And that's where we've gone wrong. Nowadays, they're the judge, jury, and executioner without even asking us our opinion. That's another reason I'm running, because I became incredibly patronized, frustrated. I just think it's incredibly arrogant, and we're just done. November 7th, the days are done of our city being talked down to and ignored as far as their opinions go. Annexation, to answer your question more directly, I'm for it if it benefits our city as far as giving us more opportunities to grow. You need to evolve, okay? I'm not saying I want to annex the entire world and bring it into Longwood and lose the small city appeal that beautiful Longwood does have. The historic district, I don't want to do anything to rock the boat and ruin any of that, because that's an important part of our fabric.
Let me ask this question this way. So you said you would talk to people in Longwood to get their opinion. How about the communities that would be annexed? Would you go to them and see how they feel about being annexed into Longwood?
That's a great question. Yeah, I think you can't go wrong. I know it sounds like pie in the sky thinking, but here's how it works. When I'm at Winn-Dixie, and I'm polling, like, where am I going to ask these people these questions you're asking? When I'm in line at Winn-Dixie, my job is to be constantly picking the people in front of me's brain, right? What do they want? What don't they want? When I'm at the gas pump on Rains Line of 434, person at the pump next to me, same type of questions. This same thing over there when I'm anywhere on the unincorporated Longwood or in county-owned portion of Longwood. That's my job, is to constantly be asking these people these questions. I'm their conduit. I'm their 7-foot megaphone. I am the voice of the voiceless.
And he is every bit of 7 foot there. Matt Morgan is his name. Longwood City Commission is the office that he's running for. And once again, BP Matt Morgan on Instagram and Twitter, and Matt Morgan for Longwood. Is that the number 4, or do you write the word out?
Yes, thank you for asking that.
Okay, Matt Morgan, the number 4 for Longwood on Facebook.
I have a text question for Matt.
Let's have it.
It said, ask Matt what he knows about the city manager's internal investigation about the racist comments he made. If this is happening, why isn't it public? There's rumors going around that the city or somebody is trying to cover it up.
Really?
Do you know anything about these?
No. I would imagine that's something that's privy to the commissioners once you become elected.
Yeah.
No.
But it's all public records. I'm surprised nobody has brought that out if he's being... If the assistant city manager...
And the thing is, I would say it in a minute. It's one thing, I have a huge mouth. There's one thing that I'm trying to do with this piece that they're doing on me in USA Today. I keep going back to that. I'm doing this diary where I don't hold anything back. Anybody that does anything, there's this huge floodlight on them. So if there was something here to talk about, trust me, I'd be spilling the beans.
Let me divert a little bit, but in the same general notion of discussing your election. When we first started this show, we've been using the comparison of professional wrestling to politics, how they're a lot alike. You've been in both now. What do you say?
I still think wrestling's more political. I really, really do, because this is the difference. We have to trust one another with our bodies out in that ring. And we have to trust one another. Remember, you're competing for that top spot in a worked environment, meaning we are supposed to take care of one another when body slamming each other, when punching each other, when kicking each other. And when you're going up against a guy who wants your world championship or your spot on that roster, if you're the 4th or 3rd guy down the rung, let's say, things can happen. And the worst part is they'll befriend you and then go to Vince McMahon and then stab you behind your back about how horrible you were and how much you injured him and all this other stuff. So that's where it's different. In this election, there's a divided line there. Like, I like Mark Weller, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, there is a very thick line there with how dirty they have gotten. I'm on my side, they're on their side. They could continue throwing dirt and smear campaign attempts, and it will not work because our city's not falling for it. You cannot fabricate real.
So you're telling me that politics is dirtier than professional wrestling?
I am not. I am telling you professional wrestling politics.
Oh, I see. It's the worst.
Is worse. I swear to you.
It's more political than politics.
I got you.
And you need to be Teflon. So these nasty grams they keep putting in people's mails about me have no effect on me. Especially when I was a villain on TV. My job was to make people mad at me, want to slash my tires, and throw milkshakes at my windshield when I drive out of the parking lot. That was my job. So to make people emotionally invested.
And he was good at it. Yeah. Well, but obviously you know how to connect with people,
Yes, sir.
You know, and that's something that obviously you're desiring to do, working with the people of Longwood.
Yeah, in a big way. I mean, that's not just a catchphrase on a T-shirt or something, the voice of the voiceless. That's something I firmly believe. And these people in the last 5 years, the ones who've been asking me to run, I want to be clear about that because they know what I represent morally and to my core.
And so you got an article in Time yet coming out,
Yes,
and
sir.
USA Today, whatever happens, they're going to be writing about it.
They're going to be doing a video blog. I'm keeping a 20-minute video blog before I go to bed every night, recapping what happened on that day's activities with this election. And let me tell you, John Mango and Mark Weller have been giving me highlight reels to talk about.
You going to mention us tonight?
Absolutely.
All right.
I mean, serious. Of course I would.
Okay, and of course, I hope you'll be voting for Matt Morgan if you live in the city of Longwood. He's running for city commission. It sounds to me like you'll find no better candidate, a guy who really, really wants to help out. Rick, your assessment.
Oh, I'd vote for him.
All right. Only he
Thank
lives
you.
in Winter Springs.
Thank you, Rick.
But if you live in Longwood, please.
If I was a Democrat, I could vote for him now in Longwood.
Yeah, there you go. Matt Morgan's your man, and Abby Schumacher is your lady.
Abby
right?
Shoemaker. She's very similar. She is no politician either, and she's been there for 40 years. And similar situation. People had asked her to run for years, and she's stepping up to the plate. I think she's going to beat John Mango.
You know, there should be no such thing as professional politicians,
Yeah.
and we hear that.
Well,
Thank you.
We talk about, we've heard, we think about draining the swamp. This is how we do it. We replace bad candidates at all levels with better servants for the public. And Matt wants to serve the public very bad. He will do a great job for you in the city of Longwood. So please vote for him and Abby Shoemaker.
Yes.
And the actual election day is November 7th, but they do have early voting starting the Saturday before. So please do get out and vote in the city of Longwood for these great candidates. Once again, you can follow Matt on Twitter and Instagram at BP Matt Morgan. And it's Matt Morgan, the number 4, Longwood on Facebook. Matt, thanks for being with us today. God bless you. And we'll be praying for victory for you.
Incredibly honored to be on here. Thank you guys so much. Thank you,
Awesome.
listeners.
And once again, I want to thank Jackie for being here from Relax and Comfort.
Thank you for having me.
And make sure you get out there and check out that Serenity Experience and that new massage chair. And don't forget the bed for your head pillow deal. That's going to do it for tonight. Larry Elder up next. Night, everybody.
All right.